Well, good morning, and hope you're well and had a terrific weekend. And so we've shifted now, or I've shifted from just talking about the peace that Jesus brought to each one of us through God, or peace with God, and to shifting to music now. And I just, to me, that's a natural offshoot. Once you accept that you're at peace with God, then you can become then His servant. You know, you don't have to let your self-doubts or inferiorities say, no, I can't do this or that. You're just a servant, so you do what you're told. And he provides what you need to do it, and your heart's in the right place. It's not really about being so good or rising to the top of your field. You just rise to the top of your desire, and it'll sound pretty good, I think. And I wanted to spend these first few ones talking about my foundations of music. And last week I was talking about Psalms and the various places in the Bible where music is celebrated and appreciated. And then today I was thinking about a lot of times people want to talk about the different styles of music and always is why they don't like the particular style and why they do like the particular style that they like. And wouldn't it be nice if all the music could be what what one person liked? And I can appreciate that because if music has such an effect on you, you want that music that makes you feel the best. And if you're not getting that music and you're at a worship service, I can understand where that would be anticlimactic. So like a lot of things in music, you have to appreciate what the music is trying to accomplish and then try to understand the need for that facet of the music. And then maybe when you listen to it, instead of wishing it was something else, you can learn to appreciate what it is. I think is a very human quality, is that if we could find the good things that people are doing and not the things that we wish they were doing, you just get a broader, more godlike view of things, I think. You become more peaceful. So anyway, the music, the three basic music styles that we face are the traditional, the classic hymns, the contemporary music, and spirituals. Which is more or less all music falls into one of those three genres. And so what I like to think that the traditional music, the hymns, the ones that most people, most older people, including myself, were raised on. We sang, today we did Rock of Ages, Cleft for Me. And the hymns, they teach the message of the Bible in music. And so we're learning the Bible through the hymns, and that is really important because everything is in the Bible, and it's your direct connection to God, and the music is going to connect you to God, then so be it. But you can't just read the Bible and grow. That's just one of the many nutrients you need. So like here, so in Rock of Ages, Cleft for Me, right? Who doesn't know this tune? Speaking of Jesus is the rock, and he's going to protect me, and through his grace, I'm going to be saved. This is, of course, the entire message of Paul. So it's just so important to learn these things, to know these things, and we learn them by singing them on a very deep level. And it seems to me the things we learn first are the things that stick with us, and then we tend to compare everything to those. And then I think the problem with human nature is what's the best, or it's not as good, and that's not good. The foundation is just simply a solid rock on which you can build upon. So whenever you hear a traditional hymn, I'm with you. They're beautiful and powerful, and the words, it's really the words. If I play this, everyone is thinking the words, and the words just so go with that melody that it's perfect. So that's why we do the traditionals, and so that's why we do them. And then we have the spiritual music. And again, most of this is represented in our musical literature. And to me is the most, I identify the most with spiritual music because it comes from a place where somebody who's suffering is clinging to God. And they're not particularly angry at God. They love God, and they're seeing him as this protection from this affliction that they're going through. Far worse than anything I've gone through. Mostly spirituals come from slavery. And I can't imagine, I just cannot imagine how horrible to be taken from your country, split up, never see your family. Think about these horrible things. And then taken to another country and forced to work. It's absolutely horrible. There's nothing to do with your color. It's horrible to do it to anyone. But the music that comes out of it, because it speaks, it's a personal expression of your pain, and only God can cure you. And so that's what you cling to, and it gets you through. So it was a comfort in everything. And one of the ones that we love is, and tell me you don't know the words to this one as soon as you hear it. That earthy rhythm that conveys, what that conveys is a rhythm, to be honest, of bodily motion, usually of working. And so they would dispel the misery of their work with music. And so that's pretty powerful. So can that be any more important than a traditional hymn? No. These people knew all the traditional hymns, and then they took their music into their real world, and they kept their faith, and so grew another piece of music. So the spirituals, that's why we sing the spirituals, because all of us are in pain somewhere along the line. But still, it's the same God. And then finally, the third one is what we call contemporary music, most like our Wednesday night service. Most churches have a contemporary concept. And the thing that I hear most that people don't like is a repetition. It's the same thing over and over. And what contemporary music does is it just celebrates. It just says, thank you, God. Thank you. Maybe it's the result of a spiritual, is that you have at some point received some freedom or deliverance. And how many of you don't say, thank you, thank you, thank you, when something happens? You just keep saying it over and over. So it's just true gratitude. If in your heart you're singing the spirit of that contemporary music. So that's why, by definition, it's repetitive. That's what it's trying to accomplish, that sense of, can you imagine, when you get to heaven, how many times you're going to say thank you? Maybe 1 million, to start with. I would hope so. Anyway, so one example I have of that is, and it's a beautiful, it's Jesus Messiah. And it's, He can't sin, no sin, that we may become His righteous one. And it tells in the beginning, it's not repetitious, it tells the story of why, in the end, we're singing and repeating Jesus Messiah, because of what He has done. And when that dawns on you, you just don't want to stop saying it. And so the song ends with, it often says as many times to repeat as many times as you want. If you're singing to a receptive group of people, they may just want to keep singing. They may just want to stay in that moment. And it's really quite nice. And that's what it's trying to accomplish. And so it's Jesus Messiah. Repeating that. So do I have a favorite? I don't believe in favorites. I don't understand having a favorite. We must need all of it. When I go out, I don't see one flower. I see millions of different flowers. And everything, of course, with God is an infinite abundance. So anyway, that's what I was hoping, that maybe that would give you a way to maybe connect on other levels the music with your faith. And then I was thinking, of the three genres, the one that really gets a little bit of attention is the contemporary music in the Bible. When King David is bringing the ark back into Jerusalem, he is so happy that and they go to great length to describe it, he is jumping and shouting and singing and raising, and he's banging a tambourine and just praising God with all his might. This is contemporary music, and King David, because he was so close to God, could not help but do that. So I think we should maybe appreciate the reality that once you understand and learn the Bible, which you need, and once you've gone through the trials and the pains of life with the spiritual music, that you come to a place of unbelievable joy, and you cannot contain it, which is like terrific. And so to me, then, that's contemporary music. And I believe that's why we have these three genres, and each one of them, unfortunately, has their, this is the music. We want to own God through this music, instead of realizing that God encompasses everything. And once you just want a little part of God, then you don't really want any of God, and that's not good. So you have to take it all, but if you can understand it, it's a little nicer. So that's what I was thinking about with music. And then, of course, there's music that just you associate with something. There's so many times you have a funeral, and a person has a piece of music, and would you play this piece of music because it meant so much? And it does not have to be religious. And I think what a terrific gift that there was a song that accompanied somebody through their life, and someone else noticed that, and so they were connected to music. And once you're in the stream of music, you're going to flow to God. And so sometimes a song is just a beautiful piece of grace, because it just did something for you beyond words. And the one I have is it's a French cartoon. It's a Christmas cartoon called The Snowman. You should Google it. It's terrific. There are no words. It's only this really cool animation, and it's the story of a snowman. And he takes his children, and they fly through this beautiful, French town, and they see all the beautiful aspects of Christmas that are going on. People praying, people celebrating, people just sledding and having a good time. And for some reason, my daughter loved it. And so that's why I love it, because this song just simply reminds me of Hillary. And that's good enough for me. So I'm going to just play that one. It's a simple piece, and then and we'll just keep talking about music. So you should go. I think it's called The Snowman. It's kind of old. It's just so simple. Just a simple, it's really a couple of chords, but it's beautiful. And if you see what the music is accompanying, and then I think that brought some joy or peace to my daughter Hillary, and so that makes me feel good. And so I thank God for music, and we'll see you next week. Bye.